Yeah. BAM, baby. Mama's boys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is what it is. Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Kimberly Edwards from cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to make a tea braised pork loin roast in the oven. That's how we roll over here. So check it out. I have one of these great big, it's actually half of a pork loin roast. The pork loin roast was this big, okay? This is about 4 pounds. It's 1.8 kilograms-ish, okay? That's what I've got going on. So I'm actually going to sear all this meat in a frying pan, a large frying pan on my stove top before I put it into a pot of, one of these great big roasting pans. And I'm going to put some liquid in so that it can braise. It's going to cook on a nice high heat of 350, and it's also going to have that nice moist heat, right? So it's going to be cooking kind of in 2 different ways, making things ever so delicious, okay? First things first, I want to dredge this in flour. However, I don't want to waste all of my spices inside the flour. I want to put it on the meat, and then I'm going to dredge it, and that's kind of going to hold everything on there. Got me? I think it's smarter. That's what I'm going to do. So, basic stuff. Salt and pepper. Okay? Plano. Alright, we're going to flip it over in a second. Now, I'm actually going to use a tiny, tiny bit of chipotle chili powder. Now, just because I want a little bit of spice and just a tiny bit of smoke. I don't want that to be super spicy, and I don't want that to be the center of attention. But it's going to give a little bit of smoke and just that little bit of spice. I would usually use a cayenne pepper, but I'm trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put other spices inside the braising stuff, okay? The braising liquid. So we're going to flip this over. We're going to season the other side, basically. Ever so basic. This is so huge. Hold on. All right. Now this side has a whole bunch of fat, okay? This is a fat layer on the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut slits into this on a diagonal, in parallel slits on a diagonal. And I don't want to cut all the way to the meat. I just want to cut through that fat, just to, so that fat can spread as it roasts. And this is going to give so much flavor to your roast, all this great fat, beautiful thing. So use a super sharp knife. You got to use a super sharp knife. And then you just work your way across. You don't want to get all the way through to the meat, because then you're going to make that meat just run out all of its liquids and juices. You just want this fat to get a little tiny head start of breaking down. You would do the same thing with thick fat on something like a duck as well, okay? Wash your hands. When you touch pork, raw pork, or the pork touches anything, clean your hands and wash all surfaces. Disinfect them. Use your hand. Wash your hands in warm water and with soap. All right. So now I'm going to use my hands. So I've got, back on the rest of these spices. Okay. Tiny, tiny bit of that chipotle. And that's going to melt through that fat and into the meat. Okay? Lovely. So, into my flour it goes. I have about a cup, what is that? Yeah, about 3/4 of a cup of flour, and that's probably all I will need. Now, you don't want to waste all of that. You don't want to waste all of your spices in just flour. I mean, I don't, anyway. I want it to be on my meat. So, watch it. Flour is messy, and I just got it all over me. But that's okay. It's real cooking, guys. So you just no real rocket science to this, except just to coat all sides, right? You might need to use your hands and get some of this flour on top if it's a weird shape like mine, and you can't actually get anything in there. Okay. So hands are your best tools on the planet, and you can get everything done with those guys. All right. And my frying pan has been preheating on medium. And I have some nice oil in there, and I'm going to put some bacon fat that I have left from, breakfast and things. You want to save all that beautiful bacon fat for such a time as this. Washing my hands. Now, into my pan, I'm putting about, half a tablespoon of bacon fat. And that's going to give lots of flavor, okay? And that's going to be lovely. So just make sure that's all throughout your olive oil or whatever other oil you're using. I don't want to use all bacon fat. You can if you want to. I just don't want to. All right, so that's all beautiful. Into the pan it's going to go. Now, I'm going to put that fat side down first because I want that to sear up and, start going. And then I'm going to flip it over the other side. Plus, it's going to be easier for me to transport it from this frying pan into that other container. And I want that fat on the top in the braising liquid. Got me? So you want to put that down first. Here we go. Use your hands again, whatever. And into your pan. Got me? So you're just going to do that for about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes on each like little nook and cranny side. And you want that to be nice and brown. That's it, golden brown. And then you're gonna throw it in there, okay? So we'll be right back when that happens. Okay, everybody, I just flipped over my pork loin roast, okay? And as you can see, and I told you earlier that you probably don't have really even everywhere pieces of pork, right? It's not gonna be like completely straight line. It's gonna be all weird. So you see the nice browning, but it's not everywhere on the top. So I gotta kind of have to work with it. And I'm going to turn it, and I'm probably gonna hold it with the tongs and just hold it and let it go for a couple minutes while I'm sitting here talking to my mom and making sure that it gets browned even on the sides. And then I'm going to do the ends as well. Those are nice and flat. Well, at least the one is. So we'll make sure that those ends get nice and brown as well. The more brownness you're going to put in there, the more flavor that you're going to get out of your pork. All right? So brown it well, and we'll be right back. Okay, you guys can hear that sizzling sound, I'm sure. And that's my pork loin roast. Now, it's completely brown on all sides. It's a beautiful thing. Turn off your stovetop. Make sure that you've preheated your oven to 350 degrees, okay? You've got yourself this nice roasting pan, right? And we're going to transfer this pork loin very carefully from the sizzling thing of doom. Be careful with it. You're going to transfer it very gently and as easily as possible with whatever you need to use. You get it in this pan, this roasting dish. Done. Now get rid of this so it doesn't get you. All right. Now, that pork roast has decreased in size quite a bit, okay, because it has lost a little bit of the liquid. It's caramelized on the outside. As it cooks, it's going to shrink quite a bit. So you're looking at that great big piece of meat. It's actually going to be much, much smaller, but it's still a nice, great big piece of meat nonetheless. So braising. Braising means you're cooking with that moist heat and some nice high heat, okay? And it's going to be covered. So I've got a nice lid over here, a lid for this bad boy, and that's how it's going to just sit in the bathtub, basically. So check this out. I'm putting water in. Now, you can use wine. Wine is a really great, great option. Beer, fabulous option. Braising, you're going to put this much liquid up. You want it about halfway up whatever you're cooking, okay? Your roast or whatever it is. So I'm going to put liquid in, and I'm just going to put plain water in today, but I'm going to season the water. Relax, it's going to be okay. It's going to be nice and tasty, all as well. So I'm putting about 1.5 inches of water in here because I want that to stay nice and moist. Into this liquid now, I'm going to put the bay leaf, okay? I'm going to put 2 cloves because that's how my mama does it. That's what's up. Did you hear her laugh? She went, that's mom. I'm going to put a handful of peppercorns. Boom, just in the water, okay? I am also going to put these 2 tea bags, cherry tea bags, okay? So in that goes, it's going to give a little bit of flavor. Now you could put ginger in, ginger tea, lemon tea, you could put any kind of berry tea, whatever you like. Apple tea, that's kind of what I was looking for. I couldn't find it in my cabinet for whatever reason. So I just decided to put cherry in, and that's going to be really tasty. It's also going to give a nice color. Now, probably in about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so of being in the oven and it's nice and boiling, etc., I'm going to go in and I'm going to take these tea bags out. Got me? I don't think it needs to be in there that long, and I don't want it to get bitter. I don't want that to make the liquid bitter. So usually tea bags, black tea anyway, 5 minutes, that's the max brew time, okay? So take them out of there. You know, it's not going to be as hot as just pouring boiling water. It has to get warm in there in the oven. So I'm going to leave it maybe 20, 25 minutes, okay? And then I'm going to take them out. And that's all you got to know. This is going to go for approximately, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, I'd say, like this. It'll probably be done. Make sure you put a thing in the middle and, you know, you're reaching the proper temperature. So you're going to see me in a little while and I'll tell you how everything's going, all right? Into my oven it goes. Fat side up, make sure. All right, so I do have my pork loin in the oven. And then I realized I didn't put any veggies in. So I put 1 or 2 carrots in. I just You don't even need to peel it. You just peel off anything you don't like. Clean them and whatever. Throw them in there just in the water. Celery too, a couple stalks of celery. You can put an onion if they're in there if you want to. You can also put a clove of garlic in. I'm just putting carrots and celery in tonight, and it's going to be so aromatically lovely and delicious. All right, everybody? So put in whatever you have, whatever you feel like. You can put, you know, mushrooms in. You can do whatever. Got me? Cool. Okay, everybody. Now, I have some gorgeous things going on in this roasting pan. This pork loin roast looks so succulent and fantastic. I can't wait to show it to you. So I'm actually going to transfer it from the pot to my cutting board. My great big fork. Lovely. I'm going to move this for you guys to see everything. Now I've got these vegetables that are all pretty in there. That juice that is still in there, oh my goodness, it is so flavorful. Now if you wanted to save that juice, and you can use that for all kinds of cooking this week, like making some cool rice or something like that. How cool is that? Anyhow, I need a knife. Here's my knife. What I suggest you do is you let it rest for, you know, a couple minutes. But for time purposes, for right now, I'm slicing it to show you guys what's going down. So I'm going to slice it from this end here. And I want you to slice it on the bias against the grain. Okay, that looks beautiful. Now you can really smell the tea. You can really taste the tea in that really nice liquid that has come off this pork. Now that is a gorgeous looking roast. Now the thing is, when you're braising and it has all this liquid still, that roast doesn't seem to shrink up like it does when you just dry roast it, or when you bake things, right, or put it on the grill. This has retained a lot of its size, and it's so juicy. You should see all the liquid here. So sit tight. Hold on, I'm going to grab a plate. We're going to try. All right, here we go. And you know what? I didn't grab a knife and fork. All right. We're going to try this. I'm serving this alongside some Brussels sprouts this evening and some potatoes. That is so good. This may be my favorite way to make pork loin other than using it for pulled pork. This is stellar. Super duper recipe. You guys absolutely have to do this. I hope you try flavoring your liquids with tea. When you're just stuck with water, you have nothing else, and you don't have stock, and you don't want to go to the store or whatever, use some tea. It always adds some more flavor that you're not expecting. Great stuff, great stuff. Anyhow, super delicious. I can't wait to serve this to everybody this evening. And guess what? You have a whole ton more for leftovers tomorrow for lunch or whatever. How great is that? This is superb. Try braising stuff. It's not that hard. It's not that scary. Don't let it scare you at all. Okay, everybody? All right, so that's how you braise a pork loin roast. That's it. I guess it's not a roast. You're braising a pork loin. That's it. All right, everybody. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. I hope you like the fan page. It's facebook.com/Cooking with Kimberly. My shows are on youtube.com/Cooking with Kimberly. And my site is cookingwithkimberly.com. That's it. That's all. Be a champion in your kitchen. And eat deliciously. Bye, everyone.
But in the heat, on the concrete, knife or bare feet, it's hard to meet. Never mind defeat. JP reigns the best. Yeah. Icon made. I took what you paid. I let them go while you flaked in OJ. My flow equates ocean spray. Women sip Perry on and ponder the words that I say. Mom said I was handsome, so I took note to that.
So good. You have a confession to make. We've been sitting here, right here, at the cutting board, eating this pork loin just like this, because we can't wait to get it on our plate, because it's that good. You really need to.
So good, we're just stuffing ourselves.
You need to try this. You know what? What is the pièce de résistance? It's the tea, isn't it?
So juicy.
It's that cherry tea. The flavor. A little bit spicy with the chipotle. Browning it beforehand was awesome.
See this little piece right here? This is the piece for me. Right there.
See what we do? Can you know? Let me tell you real time what time it is. It's 11:48 p.m. This is how we roll at Cooking with Kimberly. We eat when we're hungry, and we eat what we want when we're hungry. Because what do? We eat deliciously.
Absolutely. Whenever the spirit moves us.
Be champions in your kitchen. Hang out in the kitchen with your mom at midnight and have a midnight pork loin roast snack.
It's too good. I mean, oh my gosh, it's delicious.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.